this topic, I want to share with you about your negative sides. That could be in your personality, in your body shortage, in your talent. What else? Tell me in your comments below if you find your weakness, your negative sides of you, or we call it the dark side of you. Comment what you think about yourself, the negative sides that people told you, or you find, or you understand yourself, but in the negative side. So comment below. And why I have this topic come up, because I have people around me, or I realize from the people around me that they I think human like us, everyone, even including myself, I used to terrified by the negative side of myself. I used to hate the negative side of me because I have such bad temper. I have negative side and my talent, I'm not good enough, things like that. And when it comes to parenting, because a lot of my friends has became parents for their children, so they kind of like worry because they find some negative side in their children. So it could be mentally or physically, or in the early stage of their children's developing the talent. So what are these common things? Okay, so I would want to focus on the talent developing, or your brain developing for children. Even for us, it's for everyone basically, but I want to focus on children because this is the reason I have this topic. And this would really quite common for me to see that parents are comparing children, their own children, to other children's. So they would see their kids learn to walk really slow, like they already like 2-3 years old, but they still not really can walk or can talk, and they started to worry. Well, my understanding about our brain, it's actually everyone's brain. The way it's developed differently. So some people may develop the body movement slower than other children, slower than the general children, and some may develop language in later. So I would say comparing your own children with other children is just showing you what are the standards, but it doesn't mean that your kids grow exactly following the standard. You could monitor as she grow or he grow, but then don't have to worry too much. In fact, why I'm saying congratulations, because of you find problems, you find the negative side of a person. It could be your children or yourself or anyone around you or the people around you. If you find they have this negative side in many ways, body, mind, and soul. So which one that you find negative? I want to say congratulations, because it always means that you have the positive, which maybe other people don't have. So what my suggestion to this friend is, okay, you find that she develops language is slower than anyone the same age, the kids that are same age to her. So what you can focus is try to find out, because language is for communication. So try to find out how she communicate with body language, or with other kind of sound, or through music, or through art, drawing, paintings. So these are also ways to communicate, to express herself. So try to go and find, if you see somebody has some negative sides in physically or mentally, so there always means that there is the hidden positive sides of this person that hasn't been seen by any one of us, or even themselves. So I use this one to self-check about myself, to analyze myself. Whenever I see there are weakness on myself, especially in the physically or mentally development, instead of just focus and worry about your weakness, your shortage, or these negative things that happen in me, I would, because of this theory that I understand, it's always when you have negative things, you always have a positive things, just that we didn't see. We tend to not seeing the positive things. We tend to ignore the positive things, because we kind of think positive thing is what we should have, and so they don't deserve our acknowledge. It don't deserve our attention. But that actually is not my style, and humans tend to have this awareness on the negative things compared to the positive things. So it seems very difficult for us to change this. It's kind of like it's inside our DNA, not seeing the benefit sides, but only seeing the weaknesses that we have. So in terms of, instead of changing what we usually aware things, I think before we changing it, what we can do is to understand the theory behind the weakness. Why I believe in this, because scientists, they saying that we have only developed 30%, maximum 30% of our brain use. So we have like 100% of capacity, but we only use 30%. It means everyone develop our brain in a different zone. So some people have strength. It explained that some people have strength in science. Some people have strength in sports. Some people in music, and some people in art. So everyone is developing different part of the brain. And another thing I want to mention is your kids, what they are good at right now, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be forever, or they are weak at this point, at this stage of their life, of their growth, it doesn't mean that it's forever. So this theory is not applying just on the good things, like or the bad things. So people may say, I heard people say they were so poor in language, they didn't really understand how language work, or they didn't even understand the mathematics. They didn't understand, they couldn't catch the concept. So but they suddenly have clue, or suddenly just it's like found a key for developing their talent in mathematics in very late age, maybe at their university, So talent is a thing that, or how we develop our brain, it's really differently, and everyone has different time, different skill to develop. So instead of worrying what is your negative side or your weakness, I want you to focus on the positive side, which everyone has, and just we didn't have the awareness, or we are not trained to focus on the positive side, and humans tend to react on the negative side of us. So, and because we have 100% brain capacity, but we only use 30% maximum. So, and understand that everyone developing the different 30% in their brain. So if you find 70% of weakness inside of you, why don't you try to find out which 30% has developing in your brain? So this one I want to specially mention if you are parents. And if you are not parents like me, try to pay attention on your own talent that it's hidden somewhere. 30%, it could be so different from the society tell us. It could be something different compared to anyone around the world. So go and find out which part of your brain is developing or putting that 30% of your positive side. So same especially if you're parents. If you find that your children, it's compared to any general children, if you compare to majority of children, that means that is kind of like the standard, but it doesn't mean your children have to grow in that standard way, or it's really different from what we really want. What we want to be extraordinary, we want to be special, we want to be different from people in a good way, but we at the same time kind of fix what the society expect us. We kind of fall into the standard, which is not bringing us to become an extraordinary person. So try to take the standard that society gives you as a just reference, just a reference point for us to tell us whether we are just ordinary or we are beyond the ordinary. So don't take this standard to fix you within this standard. So if you have children, I want you to not just only focus on the weakness, but once you find they have weaknesses, it means that they also developing something that you don't see. So either you call it that as a talent that they are developing, or some strength that other people don't have. I don't know how you call that. I don't want to limit just to the things that we know as a talent, you know. So it could be something else, something that haven't been discovered. So not focusing on the weaknesses of yourself, of anyone. They always have the strength that is worth everyone to discover and to see. So always remember, whenever you find anyone or even yourself that they have these weaknesses, they have this shortage. So it's a sign for you to find out what is the strength. So always believe that the God always give you the balance, you know. Don't expect everyone just average. We are not just average, we are unique. So I think that is also the benefit that our God, the God, our fate just gave us the 30% of the usage of our brain. And everyone could be developing totally different part of our brain, how you use or how you develop. And take myself for example. When I was really young, like in primary, before going to high school, I was really good at language, at least for my mother tongue. And I thought that is something gifted. And I thought this gift is going to be forever. And what I am doing right now, it proves me wrong, because I haven't used it for many years. The talent I thought is gifted and would be in my DNA forever. I thought that. So I didn't develop it. I didn't use it for a long time, didn't practice. So even though it was my talent, it was a gift, but what happened after so many years, I didn't use it, I didn't practice, and I find out that it became my weakness. So would I just sit and be sad about that? No. What I'm doing is to keep improving, because I was there. I know that I could do it. I could make it come back again. But at the same time, because of this weakness has my strength. It was my strength and now became my weakness. You know, I find it very difficult for me to read, to speak 100% of what I'm thinking, to express myself in language, in speech. It makes me really, it became a problem to me. Makes me really difficult for making my videos, making my classes. But with the same method that I just told you, when your brain is it's lacking one side of development, it always have another side which is developing. Imagine, yes, you have 100% of your brain capacity, but you only have 30% of energy or manpower to developing your brain. So if you're not using one side of the brain, and your brain tend to put this energy, put this effort on developing something that is useful for me. So that is what I understand. So I try to find out what has developing on the other side of brain maybe I didn't discover. So I find out that the change of my life, from my teenage until now, it's become like from language developing into visual. So because I have been practice or focus on visual designing or visual art, so it's actually I have grown my talent in this part of my brain, inside of my brain. So I have more I became so sharp into color, selecting color, putting images. I developed a sharp eye on visual art. But at the same time, because I didn't use language that often to express myself, so my brain tend to forget about this talent or let go of this talent. So I became quite weak on language communication. But at the same time, my visual communication, the power of my visual communication is increased. So if you are having this issue or this worry for your children or for yourself, then you have to know that practice your muscle memory could help you to regain your talent, which like what I'm doing right now, keep doing live, keep reading. So now I don't just read inside, but I read it out loud. So that helps me on speaking, on improving or gain back my ability on expressing my ideas in language. But at the same time, I want to focus as well on the gift that I developed later on my age, which is my visual art talent, my visual art skill, my visual communication. So I want you to focus on the good thing and prevent on the bad things. That is the purpose on aware all your negative and positive sides. So you want to strengthen, and at the same time you want to prevent it getting worse. So I hope this I'm sharing this out because I don't want you to over worry about how your children or yourself developing your brain, your talents, or letting the society standards to limit you. Okay, so I hope this sharing session would help you in different way, would inspire you. If you like my sharing today, just share it out, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and my page on Facebook. And I'd like to see you next sharing session. Wish you a happy Wednesday. Bye.